When I was watching this portfolio, I felt like I was in a movie.
It feels very extensive. He has only 4 projects, but it feels like he has 8.
Like there was a climax point, which was this maquette that we saw in the cover.
This is a perfect example of a spread of an urban designer.
Hey everyone, this portfolio review is so important that we had to meet up in New York City to record it.
In this video, we're going to review 4 interesting portfolios, and they can be a great source of inspiration in case you're looking to enhance your portfolio.
And we want to thank Issuu for sponsoring this video and supporting this portfolio series. If you want to upload your portfolio online, Issuu is the way to go.
We'll talk more about it further in this video, but for now, let's jump into the first portfolio.
So let's take a look at the first portfolio, which is by Alva Nylin, and she is from the Royal Academy of Copenhagen. I really enjoyed looking at this portfolio. I had chills with this portfolio, and some general comments that you guys are going to see throughout this portfolio is that it's super neat, super organized, and it's very precise. So no image is excessive. There's no repetitive images, and there's also a really nice balance of text versus image versus drawing. I really love this portfolio. Very minimal, very neat, very subtle.
Yeah, this is a really interesting portfolio, and I think it's a great inspiration for all of you that are looking to get some insights on how to modify your own portfolio.
And if we take a look at this first project spread, it has a lot of text to read as a first project, but it's divided very well into very small paragraphs. And also the header is not a very big header, doesn't have bold. It's almost like non-existent.
And what you can find in this portfolio is it has a very good balance between drawings, renders, and white space. So it's not overwhelming to the eye. Sometimes people tend to add too much information and go beyond the point that's necessary. And here you have a little bit of everything, but it's to the point, So for each project, there's pretty much always a render, a bit of text, some diagrams or drawings, and then you move on and you can feel that on each page, and it's always balanced out.
And what I like is that it's not like in a template sort of order, so we're getting used to seeing these portfolios where only the left pages have images, only the right pages have drawings, and they follow like a very strict rule. It also seems like forced, and it's very predictable. But here, if we swipe through different pages, we can see that sometimes in the right page, there's an image of a maquette, sometimes it's an image of a drawing, or sometimes it's a render. So it's always very surprising to go to the next page and you want to see what goes next without breaking the general design structure. What I really liked, what I think was different, was the use of black and white versus color. As you know, color is a very important factor in your portfolio, and sometimes it can take up a lot of space or a lot of attention from the viewer. It kind of starts to compete with other images. So what I really like here from Alva is that she decided to put some images black and white from different kinds of projects and only leave colored ones even for drawings, for maquette drawings. So it doesn't look too strong on the eyes. And for example, in this spread, we can see a balance between black and white and a colored drawing.
Yeah, if this image was colored, I think it would have a very different feeling to we and who's viewing your portfolio. So it takes all of that stress, all of the interpretation that goes in subconsciously with colors, and then you're just looking at volumes and contrast, but then you have color to really narrow and highlight what you want to say. And you guys can check the link in the video description for this portfolio, and you're going to see that although it has 6 projects, which is usually a lot for a portfolio, it feels like it has 3 because she moves fast and the pace is really interesting. So you go from project to project, surprising yourself with each spread, and it doesn't feel repetitive.
And there's an importance to each project. For example, the first project has around 4 different spreads for the first project, but then the pace gets quicker. So for the second project, it has less spreads, less drawings. For the third project, I think it only has 6 drawings, and it just gets quicker and quicker. Honestly, when I was watching this portfolio, I felt like I was in a movie. There was a climax point, which was this maquette that we saw in the cover, that she promised it to us in the cover, and then she released it right towards the middle of the portfolio.
Yeah, that's really great.
And then when we get to the middle, when we get to that maquette image, almost the portfolio finishes because we have 1 or 2 extra very many short projects. So you get that feeling of wanting to see more, which I think is perfect, because it's not a feeling of how many pages do I have to turn to finish this portfolio,
Precisely done by Alva. This is again a great source of inspiration. You should definitely check it out.
Alva, Thank you for sending in your portfolio, and let's jump on to the next one.
Okay, so this next portfolio is from Chidguang, and right off the bat, you can see that the cover really pops up. It's the color that makes that stand out. If you're looking at many portfolios, a really colored cover like this can go a long way. But just be careful, because not every color, not every striking color like this works. This is a hard thing to pull off. Yeah, but I think with this portfolio, she did it wonderfully and right to the point. And also what's really good as well is that this color scheme continues onto the portfolio, which is nice to see. Sometimes you see a very bold, colorful cover that doesn't really relate to the portfolio. So that sometimes feels like someone else did the cover and then the rest of the portfolios.
And this just adds a little bit more consistency and coherence to the portfolio. And, you know, overall, it just gives personality, a character to the person. Like if it's just a bunch of, different things in the cover, different things in the CV, different things in the general structure, it feels like 3 different people did it. Yeah. What I also liked is the drawing to text ratio. So in the past portfolio, we saw that the image, the drawing, and the text was very balanced out. No one took like the protagonism. But here, the drawing is the main protagonist. We can see that she likes to draw a lot. She likes to put a lot of color in her drawings. And she doesn't give that much importance to the text, which is not bad. It's just, it's very valid. And she makes her drawings really big and the text really small. Maybe what small corrections I would make is to be a little bit more consistent in how you place the text. So sometimes it was placed on top, sometimes it was placed on the bottom, sometimes it was aligned to the left or to the center. So if it was just have like one strict rule on top text aligned to the left, that would be perfect.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And maybe now the next topic that we wanted to highlight from this portfolio is that differently from the last one we saw regarding project quantities, this one feels very extensive. It has only 4 projects, but it feels like it has 8. So maybe too many pages that went on and on. It could be shortened up and done in a more concise way.
Yeah, I mean, when you do projects on urban design, when that's your major, you have so many images, so many diagrams that, sometimes it can be hard to choose which one is better than the other one, but you have to make a choice and try to only have maximum 4 images per spread, because sometimes it's just a lot to look at. And another thing that I really wanted to highlight is the CV, because sometimes when you're a student, you don't have any work experience and you want to make a CV and you don't really know what to put because you don't have any experience doing anything. But when you're in school, you have a lot of chances to do workshops, to maybe be an exchange student, to participate in free competitions. So all of that, she highlighted that. And when you look at the CV, it looks like she has a ton of experience doing architecture-related stuff. She even has a fragment at the bottom that says experiences, which maybe is not really architecture-related, but it talks about maybe trips she did, other different projects she worked on. So I think that just adds a lot of personality to the whole CV place.
Yeah, this is a way you can find to add weight to your CV without having to have a ton of experience in internships, traditional work stuff and all. And then to wrap this portfolio up is, as you guys can see, this is more of an urban design portfolio. So spread 6 and 7 like this is a perfect example of a spread of an urban designer. I think you can get a lot of insights from this. So this spread enlarges important plans over a number scale. It has some complementary plans at a smaller scale and then nothing else. It shows complexity. And this structure could have been repeated in other areas later. It seemed like they were badly put together, Unlike these spreads, 6 and 7, they're a perfect example.
So spreads 14 to 15 is a really good example of also what you can do when you have an urban design projects and you have a lot of diagrams, a lot of urban sections. You can just neatly place them together. And just because it's urban, at an urban scale doesn't mean it has to be boring or packed. It can also have some white space around and look very interesting. In this case, I think the color, she handles the color very well. And it looks really, really cool. So Thank you for sending over your portfolio. We really enjoyed this. Just a quick pause to give a big thanks to Issuu for sponsoring this video. Sponsors like them help us keep bringing free content right here on YouTube.
Now, Issuu is this amazing digital publishing platform that lets you put your portfolio out there for everyone. Schools, friends, potential employers to see.
Personally, I've been using Issuu for years now, and honestly, everyone uses it. You'll get a unique link to share your work far and wide. And let's not forget that super cool page flip effect that makes browsing a breeze.
We always get asked how we make our portfolios here so interactive, and guess what? Issuu is the secret weapon.
This powerful platform doesn't just stop at the visuals. It also hooks you up with back-end analytics so you can track where your viewers are coming from.
Share your portfolio in full screen glory or embed it wherever you like.
Getting started is a piece of cake. Create an account, drag in your portfolio, tweak the settings, and hit upload.
You can even upload directly from InDesign. Just grab the free plugin from Issuu's site, install it, and find it under the Window tab in the extensions.
Oh, and you can also whip up social media posts right from your Issuu account.
A big thanks again to Issuu for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to critiquing portfolios.
So our next portfolio is by Abdullah. He sent a really cool portfolio. I really liked the general drawings that he does. He does very complex and intriguing drawings. Maybe what I don't like is the cover and the first few pages that, ticks you off, and it's kind of a surprise that he has such good drawings,
Yeah. The drawings are extremely good, but maybe they could indeed be the protagonist of this portfolio. It feels like they were just added there to check it and take it out. But then take a look at these drawings. I mean,
sometimes when you draw so good as you draw, Abdullah, you have so many drawings to choose from, you don't know how to choose, and you end up putting all of your drawings into one spread or into all of your spreads. But here I recommend making a hard decision and saying all right, so this drawing and this drawing, they're both good, but maybe they're telling the same thing. Yep. So maybe I should just leave one of these drawings and put the other one in the folder where we're not going to use it for now.
Yeah, I think with this example, for instance, they're very similar. I know that he's trying to show that this is a moving part and this is how it happens. But then with this very highlighted background, strong, that draws more attention than the drawing itself, maybe you could have rethought, maybe more line drawings and then focus on a section with a full spread and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and we were talking about in the last portfolio with the color management, you have a ton of interesting color. Maybe red is your main color. So you should take advantage of this and not use it everywhere, but just use it in very select places. One thing I also liked, after these projects, sometimes you have images that you don't know where to put because they're not a specific project, but you want people to see them in your portfolio. So you create an others page or a hobbies page or, experiences page like this one. And here I really liked what he did. I would like to see this in other portfolios where he put renders, maquettes, drawings, things that he was interested in.
Yeah, overall, I think the cover, the CV, the content table, it's not that it's too bad, but it doesn't match the quality of drawings and detailing and images, renderings and everything that he has. Maybe he could have done a little bit different so that everything feels more cohesive.
All right, Abdullah, thank you for sending in your portfolio, and let's go on to our next one.
Okay, so the last portfolio for this video is from Danielle. This is quite an interesting portfolio. We thought it could be a good source of inspiration as well. You're gonna see that it has a lot of strong drawings, really, really good ones. And you might find it that the pages are a little bit crowded, a little bit full, but when you take a closer look at it, you can see that he kind of plays with hierarchy, and then you can see which drawings are more important, and then it makes sense. I think it's his style. It repeats throughout the portfolio, even the CV, everything. So I think it goes well.
Yeah, this is one of those portfolios that has a lot of character and personality to the page, or to the, it gives a lot of character and personality because it has, specific layout designs, specific ways of putting, maybe for example, in his CV, he started to put drawings around his CV, which is something that we don't see anymore. Something when you're in the CV, you expect to see the drawings later. You expect to see a very clean white page, but who says it has to be like that? Why can't we break the rules sometimes? Obviously, there are ways of breaking the rules. There's a way of doing it pretty, doing it nice. But I think it's just his personality bursting out and trying to show what he likes best, which is drawing, maquettes, and that's what you see throughout the whole portfolio, all these different types of drawings.
These maquettes are incredible. He's got some skills for sure. And I agree with you. The CV can be done differently. It doesn't have to be minimal. Personally, I think I would have reduced 1 or 2 images from this CV, maybe even give a little bit more margins, even more white space, but keep the images and drawings if he plays on his style. But yeah, I think it's a different approach. We always think about bringing different portfolios and not always that minimalistic one that we are all so used to, because there are different ways to approach an architectural portfolio for sure. this is one of them.
Yeah, and to finish, this is a portfolio that balances really well different techniques. So in the last portfolio reviews that we have done, you were saying that maybe I don't do as many maquettes as I saw in your portfolio review, or I don't do as many drawings. But here Danielle has maquettes, he has hand drawings, which sometimes you can be really good at hand drawings. He has cinematic drawings, he has site plans, he has maquettes of other people like in his workshop. So he has a balance of different images that you can also use. So it doesn't mean that if you see a maquette in one of our portfolio reviews, you have to do the same thing for yours. It depends on what you're really good at. And here Danielle is very good at maquettes, drawings, and many different types of things.
It's about showing what you have, what you have skills on. But overall, just to conclude this, when you have text, titles figured out and a little bit of white space also in sync, I think the options are open. Like you can do pretty much whatever if you have all of these base things figured out. For me, text always, if text is not great, then everything else just crumbles down. Congrats, Danielle. This is a really good portfolio.
Thank you for sending in your portfolio, Danielle. So as you guys noticed, we are together in the same room in New York City.
Yeah, we decided to book this trip to create some content around the city, explore it. And the portfolio reveal was a perfect opportunity to do this in person.
Okay, so expect some more videos coming soon about New York and interesting things that we're going to do.
Yeah, thanks a lot to Issuu for sponsoring this video. And actually, thanks to you for watching this video until here.
Yeah, if you want your portfolio reviewed, there will be a special link in the description so you can submit it and we can review it here for everyone.
And in case you haven't watched the previous episodes, this is season 2, so this is the 3rd episode. And also we had the season 1, so a bunch of portfolio reviews for you to watch and get inspired and enhance your portfolio.
Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.